Hey, what's going on, you lingerie-looting labia lickers? You can thank a Facebook fan for that one. Welcome to Grunt Speak Live, episode 154. I'm Toxic Male. And this permanent fixture on the midnight meat train to Pound Town is Terrence Pop.
You motherfucking fucking fuck. Come on now. Wah! Hey, I blocked that one instinctively. Didn't even try.
Oh, man, it's been it's already been a hell of a week. And we got a few things to cover tonight before we dive right into the leftoids stew that is modern internet. But before we do that, or should I say, before we do that, going to introduce our guest. Welcome back to the show, Pill Rhino. How you doing, sir?
Bag of dicks.
What's going on, guys?
Bag of
Good to see
dicks.
you again.
Bag of dicks.
Bag of dicks.
We had a little technical problem before we started the show. He couldn't hear us, but we could hear him. And Pop and I are over going, bag of dicks, bag of dicks, bag of hang on, I'll see you guys in a second. I'll call you right back. Bag of dicks, bag of dicks.
Yeah.
Subscribe to his channel. If you haven't yet, you're fucking up by the numbers.
Hey, because, that's how it goes. Like, men always rib on each other. It's part of the code, man.
It's how we roll. Yeah. So how you been doing, good sir? I haven't talked to you in a bit.
Doing good. Just living life.
Yep.
Living life, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow.
You're hustling, getting your money?
That's it.
Yeah.
Staying busy.
I gotcha.
Got to do your deal. I saw that you did a live stream with none other than Jimmy Bones, who went back on his word not to drink too much.
Oh, well, I may have encouraged a little, not realizing it would,
Put him over the edge?
Oh, dude. Yeah, the first time he was ever on our stream, he did what?
47 minutes.
Yeah, because he gave me those skull glasses. Those are like 2.5 shots.
Yes.
And he did, I think, 4 of those in the first 55 minutes before he went Walt Disney and decided to disappear to the bathroom to worship the porcelain god.
Yeah, he was done.
He went completely Walt Disney on me as well, but it was still good.
I know, but the thing is, I can't knock a guy for that. I do the same thing once in a while, so that'd be.
Yeah, we all do.
By the way, not to be plugging or anything, but Jackal will be on tomorrow, so we're gonna talk to him too.
Outstanding. Yeah, Jackal's a good kid.
Yeah, good. Outstanding.
Stuff. Yeah. And, first story of the day before we get into the craziness. I'm not sure if anybody's heard about this. Pop told me I hadn't heard a damn thing about it. Apparently there was an explosion today at the Hoover Dam.
That's correct.
Hoover Dam it. Fire department officials respond to an explosion at the Hoover Dam. There's a picture right there. We can actually show you a little video from it here.
But you're seeing it after the explosion.
Yeah, this is
about
smoke
5
already
seconds
billowing.
after.
Yeah.
Well, folks, get your video on that. There's just been an incident here.
My goodness, something's just blown out.
Explosion and a fire. We're going to be leaving now, so we don't get trapped in there.
Well, it is Taco Tuesday.
Well,
Something has
okay.
just blown
Now you
out.
see how
That's coming
you see
from
how
the
black
women's
the
restroom.
smoke is?
Yeah.
That's not the residue from high explosives.
We can check that one later. Is black smoke racist? We can check
We'll
that
get to that.
There
Yes.
you go.
So apparently it was an electrical transformer. An A5 transformer caught fire about 10 a.m., and it was extinguished within 30 minutes. No risk to the power grid, and thankfully no injuries.
Good.
So,
But, the thing is, the people that watch my show, and I have a lot of individuals in the military, and that popped up on somebody's screen before, and I got an email about it. Hey, this is this showed up on our radar. It's
well, I can't blame you. I mean, I'm sure you had the same reaction I did when you just told me without context, explosion at Hoover Dam.
that's.
I was
instantly-
thinking, well, shit, we've had how many food production plants go up in flames, have had planes
Right.
crash into them, and other random such shit. This would be a direct attack on the power grid of 3 states.
Correct.
So we're lucky at the end of the day.
And remember, I made that zombie apocalypse with the attack on the nuclear power plant that is basically connected to the Great Lakes.
Every single one of those is now banned from YouTube.
Are they really?
We can't show any of them on YouTube anymore.
Oh,
They're all on new tech.
The zombie apocalypse. Look, my fans love the zombie apocalypse.
It's been a hot minute since we've done one.
I should probably do another one.
We need to do like a zombie apocalypse 666 and just dive right into the Book of Revelations.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And actually, the supporter stream, I give everyone towards the end of the 2 hours a premonition
Oh, boy.
I'm not going to say it here.
It's
It's just for the supporters.
Giving people a sneak peek at your ESP?
Yeah, well, because the last show I did was all about ESP. It was like almost 2 hours, 1.5, 1 2/3 hours of just ESP stories.
What about you, Rhino? You ever had any ESP premonitions that have come true?
Yeah. Actually, I don't want to go on that too long, but when I was in high school, I was dating a girl, and I was working at a grocery store, and I got this feeling something bad had happened. I told my boss, I said, with no explanation, I said, I got to go. And I drove. She lived an hour north of me at the time, and I drove up there. Sure enough, she was in a rollover.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, crazy.
Ooh.
That's I would call that a solid ESP.
Yeah, that's an ESP. That's an ESP.
Armored Platypus says, what the fuck is ESP?
ESP, man. Come on.
ESP, extrasensory perception.
That's ESP.
Didn't you watch Ghostbusters?
ESP.
Psychic.
And I told the story about I had gone to Fallujah. Now I'm gonna just be up front here. I did not participate in any of the 2 Fallujah battles. Okay, because that wasn't my lane. But I had gone up there with a 5-ton and some other vehicles to bring in MREs, water, medical supplies, bring back the lightly wounded or the walking wounded, what they called it.
The walking wounded.
Because we had a combat hospital inside Abu. And the way it was working is you had the casualty collection point for the Army, and then the Marines had the casualty collection point. And they were really close to each other. And I'm just going, you get on the back, and they were putting people on the truck, and there's these 3 Marines on stretchers, and one of them had like a tourniquet because his femoral artery had been hit, but it wasn't high
Yikes.
up; it was lower. And I'm talking to Gunny. I'm like, we need to get these guys out of here. And they're like, well, there's a chopper coming, and I look over and I see choppers landing, but they're just getting Army people. They're not. There's none for the Marines.
Oh.
So I literally I'm like, Gunny, this is what's going to happen. You're going to turn around. You're going to walk over there. These 3 people in stretchers are getting in the back of that truck, and they're going to be at a cache in like it's 8 miles away by road, 5 miles if you fly.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, and then you could just say you don't know what happened, and then and because I knew these guys were going to die. So literally, I picked them up, and I'm like, the 5-ton is full of dudes. I'm like, I make room, goddammit! And they're like, I'm putting these Marines, and they're like, hey, these are Marines. Like, fuck off. Don't touch their buttholes. Yeah, and
then they do like.
Well, they're all 3 of the Marines were conscious, and I remember I got a report from one of the ER nurses that worked at the cache, and she's like, that guy he would not have made it another hour and a half.
Oh, if your femoral artery is torn, oh hell yeah, you're done.
Yeah, he was done, and he would have died. So I know at least one of them, I probably saved his life, and I was just being the typical, E8 triple tab guy, like, fuck off, put him in the truck.
Speaking of life saved, up there on the board, you may have noticed it's gone up to 451.
Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, and
Very nice.
Yeah, after we get through the first couple stories here, we actually have an email from the dude that he gave us permission to read as long as we don't read his name.
Okay.
So we can get through that. But, actually double butt, I should say. And quite fitting because, juicy Latina booty allegedly got arrested today when actually she just pretended to be arrested. Of course, because we're going to go picket for abortion rights, which you never had in the first place.
No, it's not in the Constitution. I'm working on an actual rough draft for my copy of the Constitution, the Redonkulas copy.
The popstitution.
Nice.
Now, not to be confused with selling your dick on a street corner.
That'd be bad.
Hi, I'm a popstitute. I'm a popstitutional lawyer. Well, that's good because I got stung by the cops. That's not what I'm talking about. Equal rights and lefts, bitch. Oh, let's check this out. Now, she actually was escorted away from the Supreme Court by police.
Is that a cop, actually?
The thing is, you can't even really tell. I mean, I see the dude with the, with the walkie on his back, what have you. He looks like, he's police enough. But what cracks me up is that she wants everyone to believe that she's in handcuffs, and then this happens.
It's so stupid.
So they're walking her away. Oh, look at me. I'm arrested. Say I'm so stunning and brave, standing up for abortion rights, in quotes. And then she magically breaks the handcuffs that were never there in the first place.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Listen, we should not have senators out fucking doing shit.
She's a House rep.
Representative. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're one of the reps in our government, you should not be doing publicity stunt stuff. In my opinion.
And you shouldn't be insider trading. Pelosi. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No. And you know what?
Yeah, no kidding.
They all do that. They all do it. And
corrupt motherfuckers.
they threw what's-her-face, old cooking lady, in jail for like a year.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart.
Right? Yeah.
Why the fuck? Nancy should be going right there. They should have a bunk for her there, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like women, they are immune to accountability.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, I mean, look at the difference between the January 6th, essentially a tourist trap, and when Colbert's people were arrested for actually breaking into the Capitol and harassing members of Congress. They just got let go, and yet there are still people who have not seen the sun and God knows how long, all in solitary confinement, completely unconstitutionally being incarcerated
And what
without
they're
a fair
doing,
trial.
and what they're doing with those
Fucks.
guys is they're keeping them in solitary confinement to mentally break them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's totally not a differential enforcement of the law compared to when you take into account who you vote for. That's a right-wing conspiracy theory.
Yep. Absolutely correct.
Or maybe I'm wrong because Ilhan Omar pretended to be arrested also.
Clown world.
Total rebel, yeah. And of course, her, just like AOC, has a white husband. She was cheating on her brother with the white husband, or now husband. The one that she embezzled millions of dollars by signing checks over to his firm or whatever. And what is it with all these people who they will swear on a stack of Bibles white people are the most evil, terrible thing that has ever blighted this planet, but they just can't keep their dicks out of their mouths. AOC, Ilhan Omar, Donna Lemon, known popularly as Don Lemon. I bet that's the face he makes when when he's trying to choke down all that white supreme pizza with extra cheese.
Yeah, I bet. I'm wondering what's going to happen with that lawsuit. I haven't heard anything more on it for the sexual assault they did that guy in the bar.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm sorry. I would have punched him right in the goddamn face as soon as that happened.
Oh, she pretends to be handcuffed too. Let's check this out. Yep, walking with her hands, but she's not even being escorted.
Yeah, he's catching up to.
Yeah, you left too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you forgot to grab my nightstick. You whitey humper.
Oh my God.
That's
Whitey humper.
racist.
That's racist. Oh, we'll find out what's racist.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, this is for abortion rights, but yet, and this cracks me up. If you go to upward.news and you look at a poll that was put out on the whole Roe v. Wade decision, it turned Americans' context about right here on Roe v. Wade, when posed through the progressive terms as a constitutional right, 53% of participants said that they supported Roe v. Wade. On Roe v. Wade considering late-term abortion, when they learned that Roe allowed for late-term abortions despite unborn fetuses feeling pain at 14 weeks, only 28%
Still
supported it. On heartbeat bills, when participants were asked if a fetus counts as a life when it has a heartbeat at 6 weeks and begins to move its eyes at 12, 59% said they support abortion bans if there is any indication of life.
Yep. And I was watching. They were interviewing a couple of these psychos, the abortion psycho queen things, and they would not answer the question.
Of course not.
They're like, "Oh yeah, well, it's a right," and
No, it's not.
I would not have the patience for that. Like literally, I'd grab my cup of water. Fucking cunt! That's the goddamn question. I'd be so fucking pissed. I'd be getting censured left and right if I was senator, like Mr. Senator Pop. please leave the room. God damn it, you sons of bitch. I will watch it on closed circuit.
You really want to vote for abortion up till including birth and 28 days after? But we got to think of the children. And that's why we're going to bring masks mandates back in California, Stan. You motherfucking fucking fucks.
Yeah, they want listen, and that's part of the premonition. Is, if you think they worked on the coof and the monkey butt pox.
That lasted long, didn't it?
Well, they were both of those viruses.
The monkey butt plunger pox
were worked on at the places that do gain of function. All right. Now, we've seen both of those viruses are now out.
A little bit.
And I can guarantee you there's one or two more. They're just itching to let loose.
Yep.
And those will be the bad ones.
Those will be the real bad
ones. And like the people who got the two poke and smokes and their immune system's compromised.
Immunocompromised.
Oh.
You make a point.
And then
there's no dying children having heart attacks all over the country. That's a conspiracy theory. I mean, there wasn't a coroner, no, not a coroner, an undertaker who blew the whistle that he has sold 5 years worth of children's caskets in the last 7 months alone.
Correct.
Pop, let me see if I'm hearing you correctly. You're saying that they are waiting to release something that is. Go ahead.
I'm not saying anything. This is a premonition.
Okay. Premonition. Okay. ESP.
It's an ESP
thing.
Okay.
So some ESP.
ESP.
Yeah.
ESP.
And the way my ESP works is I can't tell if it's my higher level intelligence, digging into the problem and then it's catching up, or the ESP gets there first, then I start thinking about it in more depth. But I mean, listen.
So let's say we're on the same page here with some ESP.
ESP.
The immunocompromised from the jab may have some problems when some said things are released. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
ESP?
You're familiar with the wildfires, right? When they go crazy because there's all that underbrush that's just waiting to get burned up.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, except that wildfire will be a wave of dead people.
Yeah. And just so we're clear, when those wildfires happen because of that underbrush that wasn't cleared, it is because of Democrat policies forbidding people from clearing said underbrush because of climate change.
Yeah. Yeah, that is stupid.
Cause the problem and then bitch about it and pretend like you have a solution that doesn't pad the pockets of your donors.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to the Democrat Party in 2022.
Yeah, look, the Republicans aren't any better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they literally get power. Oh, we got power outlets. Sit on our fucking hands and do nothing.
Republicans having a House and Senate majority is like the dude who intercepts the Hail Mary pass on the 10-yard line. Mm-hmm. And the D has already got everyone moved completely out of his way. And he's got a one-way ticket to the end zone, and he can score the game-winning touchdown. And he decides that he's going to take a knee at the 20-yard line because slow and steady wins the game. Fuck you, Republicans.
Yeah, I'm very dissatisfied with them. In fact, another
fucking rhinos and President Company.
Another part of the premonition is we as a country are going to lose complete and utter faith in our government.
Yep. It's already happening.
It's already there.
But I'm just saying, they lost faith, but they're not motivated right now because they're hoping it'll get better.
Yeah, and it helps that we have more distractions and easily accessible entertainment than we ever have.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about games and circuses. This is it.
They get the red wave. They see that nothing is changing, nothing's being done, things continue to get worse. Mm-hmm. That's going to escalate exactly what you guys are saying there.
Well, hopefully. I mean, because right now, because of Bannon and a lot of other, local and state actors all around the country, they are defortifying, various ice cream social activities. And right now, we went from having 20 some odd actual populist Republicans in the House to having 60 to 80 of them right now. That number is going to keep going up because people are responding to that message.
Yep.
Why do you think the media still can't shut up about Trump? Because out of virtually every candidate that he has endorsed for office, even shitty ones like Mehmet Oz, 9 out of 10 of them are getting elected. They're focusing on the ones that don't. Oh, Trump is out. No one cares about him anymore. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Listen, I still don't think Trump is going to make it to run in 24.
Well, they're already setting the stage for the age argument. They're laying out the red carpet to start attacking Biden, and then after the midterms, when it's just a complete and utter obliteration, all of the attacks against Biden are going to come from the leftoids.
Trump is going to die, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're wrong on that.
I hope I am.
But
I really do, but I'm seeing severe health problems in his future.
Well, they want to bring in the age question specifically because of that. They don't want Biden to run in 24. So they're going to bring up the age question to disqualify Trump, Bernie, and Hillary in one foul swoop.
Yeah.
My thought would be that DeSantis would actually win out there just because, let's just be honest, some of the things that Trump did in his term weren't exactly good, you know?
Yeah. Well, I agree.
I agree with you.
His list of presidential pardons when he left office.
Yeah. Kwame, I want to see Kwame rot in prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I don't like that man.
He's a piece of shit.
I'm from Detroit.
He's a complete piece of shit.
I knew people that were in his inner circle. A lot of them were unhappy with the shit he was doing because it was blatantly obvious he was basically packing money away in his own pockets. So.
Allegedly, of course.
Allegedly.
We don't know these things.
This is just rumor mill stuff that I heard from individuals.
There's a lot of people out there who will swear on a stack of Bibles that Trump is a piece of shit and didn't do what he promised because there's not like a 40-foot tall concrete wall with, electric fencing and snipers on top. Like, they expected it to look like a castle fortress. It was never going to look like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy did a lot of good stuff, too.
He did. And a lot of the bad stuff, he was
but
obstructed by his own fucking party for the first 2 years he was in office.
And here's another thing. I personally don't give a shit if he does mean tweets and he's mean to people. I don't give two shits. I don't even care if there's a line of prostitutes around the White House taking turns sucking his dick through a hole in the screen door. Okay, as long as I get $2 a gallon gas and I have record low unemployment, care less. Care less.
So I think his downfall, and correct me if I'm wrong, I just don't think he can identify deep state. I don't think he gets it because he's talking about draining the swamp, but I don't think he saw the players when he was in the office.
All right, well, this is what's going to have to happen, all right, to drain the swamp. We have to have a president get in there and literally go to all of the alphabet agencies and fire everyone in the top 3 levels of seniority. Gone. No questions asked.
And if you don't leave, you get removed by force.
Drop your papers. If you have enough time to retire, you're automatically retired. All right. If you are close to retirement and then you don't have any emails or stuff that showed that you were an asshole. Yeah. We move you somewhere else, you finish out your time, and then you retire. But if you're one of those guys that,
I'm sorry, there needs to be age and term limits in Congress, too.
Yes.
I love how Congress loves to place limits on the executive branch that they routinely seem to just leap more and more power onto. Like, we don't want to have to declare war. Let the president do it. We don't want to have accountability over here.
Yeah, I know.
They're giving it more and more power, while at the same time, it's the only branch that has any sort of term limit or anything like that. And yet you got Pelosi, who's been in office since the fucking Jurassic period, and she's insider trading. She's breaking laws left and right. You've got these fucking Democrat governors all around the country who are mass murdering the elderly.
Correct. Well, I mean,
fuck.
Nancy Pelosi's husband just got popped for a DWI.
DUI. Yeah.
And they dropped everything.
Nothing happened.
That is such horse shit.
Just like the Colbert cunts in the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you or I get popped for the same thing. It's game over. But not them.
Nope.
No.
Well, first of all, I'm not going to get in my car and drive around drunk.
Well, yeah.
Most of the time.
Allegedly.
I'm just kidding.
To be fair,
Hey! Bastard.
we've all tested those waters a little bit. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, man.
Just saying.
That's the way shit rolls, dude.
It is. But I'm sorry, we already saw those two.
Double bubble?
Would you like to hear the story of number 451?
Yes.
And then we can get into
yeah.
some fun stuff with the with Google, because Google makes you stupid. You may use my story if you like. Leave my name out. I don't want to get sued. Sounds familiar. My brother's in arms. Because of men like you and the work that you do, my life was saved. I subscribed to Patreon, which does not seem to be working anymore. By the way, if you haven't noticed down in the chat, Patreon banned us for my hate speech, which in leftoid speak means we told the truth and they didn't like it.
That's right.
So if you were a supporter on Patreon and you've been wondering why you haven't been seeing emails or invites to the supporter streams, go to the links in the description. Subscribestar, Locals, and manopay.net, all operational. You can sign up there. Okay. I came across your content on YouTube because of an algorithm. A video of Trump slam about 4+ years ago in the shitty job he was doing with veterans and the self-deletion rates. I remember that one. It was a good one. I served in the Marines from early 1990 till late 1999. I got out because of shit politics after becoming injured and couldn't deploy anymore. Chains of command don't like a broken Marine. I also watched good Marines get screwed over by self-serving buddy fuckers and cock pockets that did not deserve to wear the uniform. Sometimes I think I should have fought harder to stay in, but I can't go back. Excuse me. I started my red pill journey while going through a divorce in 2017. The only reason I kept from self-deleting was there was no way I was going to leave my children behind with that quantaha. No way. However, the stress I was under because of her left me with very little time to live. I was on a path of about 6 to 12 months of giving up my air addiction. I had no choice but to leave her ass, perhaps out of fuck-all spite. I would fight for custody later. Within the first 6 months of me leaving, she started a fight with my 16-year-old son that he finished. So she had him thrown in jail.
Oh, come on.
Chalk up a court order for him to live with me. Boom. 1 down, 5 to go. You're a busy man, weren't you?
That's one hell of a worn-out whistle sack.
You're sowing more seeds than a farmer on leave.
God
He
damn.
was assigning community service and an anger management counselor where I heard about BPD for the first time, bipolar disorder. I was then searching for
Wait.
BPD.
BP. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, bipolar disorder. And came across Paul Elam, and my red pill road began. A month later, my 13-year-old son sank into chronic depression, and all he could do was growl at my ex like a dog, and she was afraid. I guess after having her ass kicked by one son, she wasn't going to go for round 2. She asked if he could live with me, and boom, 2 down. At first, she was all in favor of getting a divorce. She thought she'd be able to keep the house, the remaining 4 children, yes, all tested and all mine. Like I said, you're a busy man, weren't you? And have me pay for it all while still not having to work and making clam chowder on the weekend.
Oh!
Oh, I got to use it. There you go.
There you go.
I've not heard anyone talk about this part, and it is important. Marriage and divorces follow state law. Oh, he's got it in here. But hang on, huh? Oh. But are controlled by the counties. If you are getting a divorce in a large city, you are screwed. You guys know the money grinder. Small counties don't have time or money for the adult children mudslinging contest. I got an amazing deal on my divorce because I'd been living in a small city in Texas with my children. If you get the chance to share this with your followers, please do. The child custody is based on the living address of the children. If you have the ability to change that living condition before filing for divorce, do it.
Yep.
Get out of the city, downsize the house, hide assets in crypto, Space Ghost. That is a very good long game strategy,
It
gentlemen. If you're going through this sort of shit, write that down.
Yep.
Back to the story. In small county Texas, the judges will not hear any divorce cases unless both parties have a conscience. She was then desperately trying to make amends and not move forward with the divorce, thinking that she could just drag her feet forever and get me to change my mind because I'm sorry. I promise I'll change. Where? Her lawyer told her the only way to keep the house was if she could make the payments. Child support for the 4 children she had left, and the 2 that I had came to be about $1,400 a month for her, where a small apartment would cost about $1,200 a month at that time.
Wow.
While she was dragging her feet, a miracle happened.
Oh, no. I love those.
She met a man about 5 years older who was an international corporate lawyer.
Oh, no.
A.k.a. liar. They were going to get married, and she was going to travel the world with him. She told me I would need to take the children, but she wouldn't be able to pay any child support. I told her no problem, and I had my lawyer call her lawyer, and we were divorced 2 weeks later. I had custody of my children and set to sell the house, where I received all the assets, about $57K, and all the debts, $110K, knowing if we split everything, I would have gotten half the assets and all the debt.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Now all that stupid bitch had to do with her new man was be friendly, feminine, fun, and submissive. She would have wanted for nothing for the rest of her life.
Oh, no. I'm just there's a cliff coming.
But she couldn't let her BPD out of the way. She just had to create problems and chaos and mayhem when there wasn't any. Stupid Quantaha. Now the divorce is all my fault, and I forced it on her, and I'm keeping her children away from her because the now 21, 19, and 17-year-olds don't want to have anything to do with her, even though the 15 and 11-year-old children visit per schedule and the 13-year-old lives with her. Fuck all! It's all men's fault. Jizz magicians. I take daily doses of red pills from probably every content creator that you have heard of that does work like you. I've read Rollo Tomasi's Rational Male 3 times, Richard Cooper's Unplugged Alpha about 7 times, along with a dozen other books that are called out in the first 2 books. I am in a great long-term relationship with a woman 10 years younger than me, 100% German-American.
All right.
Born and raised in Texas, who does not control me, and she's in my frame. When we go out to eat, for example, I'm paying, so we go where I tell her we're going, and she wears what I tell her to. Not because I'm a dictator, but because she's in my frame and she wants to please me. She served in the Army as well, so she's not a pushover. Most women have no idea what they want to eat, nor do they know what they want to wear. Telling them relieves them of that burden, and they're grateful for it. I was telling this to a guy I work with, and he thought that I was out of my mind. What if she gets angry? I told him, then she's not the right woman for you, and tell her to fuck off.
That's exactly right.
There it is.
He almost gave up his meat suit. It is work to stay in the alpha frame because men get lazy in the relationship and women get bored. Stay alpha, and her kitty always stays wet. As Tomasi says, get in touch with your inner a-hole. My goal now is to keep my sons off of pussy-whipped path and anyone else that I may be able to help. Keep up the good work. Fight the good fight. I'm hoping to be in a position where I can assist you guys more. Best regards.
And here's what another thing you can do. And this is, part of the administrative violence. You basically negotiate, and you're like, I'll take the kids. There's no child support. Don't worry about it. And you just wait 6 months.
Yep.
And then you apply for child support. And then you could say, well, I didn't really understand. This is such a huge budget and blah, blah, blah. And you'll get it.
Yeah.
And then you could go after them to throw her in jail when she doesn't pay it.
Like they're ever actually going to hold a woman accountable for paying child support.
Well, there's another trick. So say the mother of your children is not paying child support.
Okay.
All right. And you go in there and you talk to the sheriff and you're like, hey, it shows me $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. If they don't do anything, you simply go to the federal court, file a federal lawsuit against the sheriff for sexual discrimination. And you say in that lawsuit, like, they enforce child support for men but not women.
Ooh.
Oh. And they're going to want to shut that shit down right away because part of that lawsuit is discovery.
Yep.
Where you get to look at all the people who've been in and out of jail and whoever.
And they don't want that
because they know it's a clusterfuck.
And they know there's differential enforcement.
Yeah, they do. And you will literally, I've had 3 guys do that. And they file the paperwork, they go to the sheriff, serve him the lawsuit, and what's this? And it's like, hey, look, read the papers. See you in court.
Bye-bye.
I can guarantee you, 3 to 5 days later, you'll get a call from the attorneys or the prosecuting attorney to work something out. I can almost guarantee you that will happen. Because they don't want those lawsuits filed. Because if you file it and they don't shut it down right away, then it's literally in the record, and then all you got to do is just have more people do the same thing, and then you can literally build the house of fraud, because that's exactly what that whole thing is.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, if the discovery gets exposed that there is a little bit of mismatch and who's getting paid and who isn't, that's gonna screw some things
Because
up.
the way the stats are now, it's 85-15.
Yep.
But in reality, it's like 93-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you back out the uncontested.
Yep. And 85% of the allegations made in family court are false, and 75% of those are against men.
And here's another thing. If you're in divorce court and she says a bunch of horse shit, you wind up getting fucked out of custody.
Yeah.
And there is no evidence to support what she said, then you could take her to court again and sue her for fucking damages.
Yeah.
And defamation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, it never happens.
Oh.
You can do it.
Yep.
It can be done.
It's good times.
Do
man.
you cover that in your administrative violence divorce edition?
That particular portion I have not. Covered.
Oh, we'll have to do an addendum.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I
that's
talked about
something
how
you
to.
should do for sure.
Yeah, I talked about how to go after judges legally and attorneys legally, because they have to follow ethics. I don't. So ethics are a bitch.
Yes.
It's a very nebulous term, and they could literally turn on a dime and then just put a knife in your back.
Yep. And for those of you who didn't know, administrative violence has been put up for sale. For the people who missed it the first time around, links are in the description. You get a digital download or a physical copy. Check it out.
Yeah, we got a lot of people who are like, hey, I want to get my hands on that.
Yep.
And
some of the reviews have been coming in as well.
yeah.
People are very happy. We had a super chat last week, Reaper01, utilizing administrative violence successfully.
Nice.
Winning.
And then I'm going to I'm trying to get a contact with a former sergeant that I used to work with, and put together the administrative violence military edition, because he used to be a unit administrator.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to administrative violence in the military, he's a 2nd degree black belt. I'm just a 1 degree black belt. So
It's good stuff, man. But why don't we do a quick roll call here, and then we can start playing with Google.
all right, stand by.
Yeah. All right, we got 844 currently watching on YouTube with only 390 likes. What are you guys doing? Just hanging out over there, pulling your pud? Smash those likes and do it now. Twitch has got 55, which means that it's probably working tonight. That's a good thing. D-Live is rocking 72. Odyssey's got 74. Rumble's got 534. Yeah, YouTube, you're losing a lot of people to Rumble. You hear that? It's because Rumble's better. And MGTOW.TV, 27.
All right.
Outstanding. And apparently Billy Von Baum has some requests. So I'm thinking probably after the show we'll do this so I can get better quality video for him, because he wants some lines that need to be said for some deep fakes.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I'll hook you up, Billy. All right. So this portion of the show was inspired by a meme that I saw. And it was, just go to Google, type in is blank, and then you can change racist, transphobic, homophobic, sexist, etc. And so I'm going to just show you right now the first thing that I typed in, because I just wanted to go with the most hysterically ridiculous thing that I could imagine. Is breathing racist?
Wow.
And here it is. This is how racist your air is, from April 28th, 2014. If you're white, you're probably breathing cleaner air. Weh. We don't all breathe the same air. People of color are exposed to 46% more nitrogen dioxide pollution each year than white people.
It's because you live in the inner city.
Yep. If people of color were exposed to the same nitrogen dioxide levels as whites, then each year 7,000 fewer people of color would die of coronary heart disease. The same effect would be achieved if 3 million Americans never took up smoking and 16 million inactive Americans took up regular exercise.
All right. Let's just get this straight here. There's a reason when you go to a big city like New York, Chicago, L.A., that it smells like pee-pee.
Mm-hmm.
There are all kinds of pollutants
Yep.
and what have you in those inner cities, and white people that are there breathe them just as much as the black people. It just so happens that more white people live outside the big cities.
Yeah, they live in the suburbs, whereas people of color choose to live in the urban areas. Why? Because my handouts.
Yeah. We got to say it. Free shit.
Yeah, free shit, yeah.
Free shit.
Close quarters, public transportation,
Free
things
shit.
that don't really exist in the suburbs. You don't see as much public transportation out in the suburbs as you do in the inner city.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
But
No.
the inner city comes with its problems.
The-
I mean,
all right,
if
the
you
next
drive
one-
down 75 and you go by the the Speedway Marathon refinery plants that are downriver, you don't even have to lower your windows. It smells like rotten eggs and
Yep.
shit.
Yeah. It's
Come over
because-
to Denver. Our sunsets are brown, and it's not the clouds.
Oh,
All right, let's do another search for COVID-19.
okay.
Is it racist?
All right, let's check it out.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's check. Is COVID racist?
Here we go.
And
Racism and COVID-19.
oh, God.
Why is COVID-19 racist but not ageist? Mental health and COVID-19. Is the virus racist?
All right.
Shocking.
All right. So I'm just going to put this right here, right
This
now.
is a National Library of Medicine article, for fuck's sakes. COVID-19 has changed our lives, and it appears especially harmful for some groups more than others. Black and Asian ethnic minorities are at particular risk and have reported greater mortality and intensive care needs. Mental illnesses are more common among black and ethnic minorities, as are crisis care pathways, including compulsory admission. This editorial sets out what might underlie these two phenomenon, explaining how societal structures and disadvantage generate and can escalate inequalities and crises.
All right. Now, all of this can be laid at the feet of vitamin D.
Oh, holy shit.
Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to speak some facts. All right. The people who write these stupid-ass articles, they're dealing with emotion. All right. We're white. We have white skin because we adapted to needing vitamin D that we could not get because we stopped living around the equator. Now, if you do have, an adequate amount of melanin and you are of a darker complexion, you are living at the same altitude or latitude that I'm at, and I have to have white skin just to make vitamin D, and I can only do it three months out of the year. They do it none.
Yeah.
They get it just from milk or whatever. So their vitamin D levels are chronically
Yeah.
low.
Yeah. Vitamin A and D are essential for a healthy immune system.
Well, if you have high enough levels of vitamin D in your blood, it literally shuts down that cascade that was causing people to have their lungs filled with fluid.
Yep.
All right. It literally shuts that down.
Yeah. That's why we have flu season every year. Because in the wintertime, people are not going outside as much. You're not getting the vitamin A and D that you naturally would from the sun. And there you go.
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with race.
No.
I mean,
You
not
bunch of
intentional.
sickle sellouts.
It's not intentional. It's just the way it works. It's biology.
Yeah.
So if
It's
they
true.
want to avoid that, you go to CVS or whatever,
Yeah.
drugstore is near you that you haven't, kicked down and burned down,
Yeah.
and buy some vitamin D.
We get tons of vitamin D on the gay cruise.
Oh,
Blake, I'm just going to ask you this. Is vitamin D racist?
yeah.
Let's find out. Let's find out if vitamin D is racist.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
No. A vitamin D lemma, a formerly racist science of skin pigmentation.
All right. Now, I just explained to you why that is, and it's a scientific explanation. But we have the unseen hand wanting to have the oppressed and the oppressors and start a fucking row here. And it's what the Soviets did. I mean, it is Germany did it.
Wow.
Yep. The formerly racist science of skin pigmentation.
Let's try, is science sexist?
Probably.
Oh, my Lanta. Why science breeds a culture of sexism. 9 ways science has been sexist. This ought to be good.
Pull this up.
9 ways science has been totally sexist and totally wrong. Not all science is objective or neutral. Well, no, science is objective and neutral. Scientists, you might have a point. Obviously, we know from following the science for the past 2 years. This ought to be good here. Oh, I've heard of this chick. Angela Saini, Inferior, How Science Got Women Wrong, and the new research that's rewriting the story, which I'm sure doesn't have a political slant to it whatsoever.
No.
Oh, no.
Women are intellectually inferior to men. Despite being the man behind the theory of evolution, Charles Darwin had some pretty unevolved views about women. Did he?
Okay, hang on.
Did he now?
That was in the 1800s. What the fuck do you want? That's how the culture was back then. Because people did not live to be old. People were always sick, dropping dead all the time, and they had to work their asses off.
Well, you know what's funny, though, is that I'm a pretty fast reader. I'm going through this right here. If you read this whole thing, Saini tracks down a series of letters to Darwin shortly before his death. An American women's rights activist named Caroline Kennett wrote to Darwin asking him to set the record straight about his most important works, which at the time were being used to support the argument that women were inferior to men based upon scientific principles. I'm reading all this. It's not debunked.
No.
All it does is list the ways that it's sexist, and then you apparently, as the totally feminist, not biased audience in any way whatsoever, are supposed to infer that Darwin was wrong without being offered any proof that he is.
Oh, okay.
That's par for the course. This is exactly what the left is doing to everything that goes against their viewpoint and what they're trying to accomplish.
All it does is shame him. Sure, Darwin's a product of his time, but is that an excuse? Fuck off.
I don't know. Why don't we dig him up, reanimate him, and ask him?
Women have not contributed much to science. Well, considering most of the major inventions that have been attributed to women, most of them were upgrades of things that already existed, or they worked on a small portion of something that was actually a much larger invention.
Listen.
I'm just going to say you're not really offering
How many times have I said we have all the comforts and luxuries in this country because of women nagging?
Yep.
It is.
Another point to that, women don't go into these fields.
No, they don't.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was
they
just going to
don't.
bring that up. And like women are complaining there's just not enough women in STEM.
There's not enough women in STEM, but they don't apply to work in STEM.
They don't.
And I say this as someone who dated someone who is now a working chemist.
Yeah.
But she was one of the only women in that program. Freely admits it.
And then what are they going to do now that women make up like 63% of the gross population of all the colleges?
Yeah. Oh, that just gave me an interesting idea. We'll get to it in a second here. I'm interested in some more of these. Women are natural empathizers and men are systemizers.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
That would explain why most psychology degrees go to women.
And why soap operas have been around since we invented the radio.
Just a little bit.
Right.
Men have heavier brains, meaning they are more intelligent. Apparently, there's a 5-ounce difference between male and female brains, if we're supposed to take this author at their word.
Statistically speaking, when you look at the bell curve of intelligence between males and females, women in the middle portion of that bell curve, they do have higher IQs on average than men. But men blow them away at the far end when it comes to geniuses.
Yep.
Quite literally, like they think circles around some of these ladies.
Yep. I love this. Women are the weaker sex. On average, men are 6 inches taller and have twice the upper body strength, but to classify women as the weaker sex doesn't tell the whole story. Women are actually stronger at birth and they live for longer. The reason they live for longer is because they don't punish the ever-loving fuck out of their bodies doing the kind of jobs that result in men accounting for 95% of workforce deaths.
Correct.
Your point is so invalid, it's become an invalid, and I'm afraid we're going to have to pull the plug.
Yeah.
There it is.
Do not resuscitate.
Because women aren't taking dangerous jobs. Men are.
Yep. Clinical trials predominantly focus on men. Tell that to the cancer industry.
Oh, yeah. Or what about this? I mean, how many times have you turned on a professional sports team game on TV and it's some kind of breast cancer awareness and they're all wearing like, pink this and pink that? How
And
many
yet
times
these are dudes.
Yeah.
Prostate cancer is a hell of a lot more deadly than breast
Yeah,
cancer.
I have never, ever seen anything like that raising money for prostate cancer.
Yeah.
I'm
not one time.
Yeah. I mean,
Can't think
it
of
might
one
happen.
time.
I have never seen it.
I must admit this last one here cracks me up because she's admitting that a bunch of these women are whores. Women are less promiscuous and less open to casual sex. Yeah, we know exactly how open to casual sex and promiscuity you are because we've seen the utter meltdowns in the wake of the Roe v. Wade decision.
What is that one stat where like 10% of women out there don't even know who the father is of their child?
Yep, 10% of women don't know who the father is, and 33% of paternity tests prove that the man they think is the father is not the father.
And that stat comes from the U.S. blood banks.
Yep, and a bunch of these.
But they'll still
bitches,
tell you. They'll still tell you most men are deadbeat dads. That's their thing.
But we proved that one wrong in our first season of the show.
Yeah, Deadbeat Dad dilemma.
Deadbeat Dad dilemma. You can either work your ass off, 3 jobs because they're taking 65% of your take-home pay, and then you can never see your kids because you're always working, or you can not pay the child support and live off the grid, in which case the police are hunting you and you can't see your kids and you're also a deadbeat dad. You can't fucking win.
It's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. All right, give me another one. Give me another one. What do we got? What do you think?
All right, let's see.
You had a good one earlier. Is hockey racist?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
here we go.
Is hockey a racist sport? Is hockey for everyone? Confronting racism in the NHL. Racism in hockey exists. Why aren't more NHL players speaking up? The racist culture of Canadian hockey.
All
It's
right.
not my fault that like virtually no black people live in Canada.
Well,
Why don't you move there and solve the problem?
yeah, I don't understand. I mean, first of all,
You threaten it enough.
hockey is a very expensive sport, and it's
It is.
very time-consuming.
Oh, how about swimming?
Oh yeah.
This is ought to be good. Is swimming racist?
Oh
Here
my
we go.
God.
Why can't black people swim? Confronting systemic racism in swimming.
Like, here's in Rangers, like in Ranger school, I watched like 80 guys jump in the pool and go right to the bottom, and most of them were black.
Oh my God.
It's just they're non-swimming people.
You said most of the dudes who washed out in Ranger School were black, right? For the swimming portion.
for the swimming portion, it was like 95% of them.
Damn.
Which
right.
is insane because but if you're going to Ranger School, you have the list of all the tasks you have to do
course.
in the school, and the very very top 5 is like combat swim test.
Yeah, you were going to say something, Rhino. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Rhino.
Yeah, I got one that can't possibly be racist. There's no way.
Oh,
Our
no.
sloths,
You can't say that.
the
You want to know
animal.
why? Because Anita Sarkeesian told us so.
Okay. Sloths.
Everything is sexist. Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic. And you have to point it all out.
Right?
Yeah, she's a raging idiot.
But what do you got? I gotta hear this one.
The animal.
The animal sloth.
Is a sloth racist?
Is the sloth racist?
No way.
Sloth got a little
The
racist.
vice of sloth. Sloth got a little racist in his elder years and wants you to. What is this? First trailer for Disney's Zootopia is totally sloth racist.
What the fuck?
What is
weird
this? Sloth
fast.
got a little racist in his elder years. What is this?
It's
It's a
Reddit.
Reddit thread, so you know it's. Stop the hate, leave our heritage alone. Oh, it's a dude. Okay, it's not an
That's
actual
not
sloth.
an animal.
That's not an animal.
All right.
Okay, so there's one in there. What else we got?
Guns.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Guns.
that one's definite.
That's definitely in there. Racist gun laws and the Second Amendment. Well, honestly, we have to concede to this one because all gun control comes from racism.
Yep.
That was its initial inception, and that is what has fueled every bit of it.
Yep. Yeah.
They didn't want the freed blacks to have guns. They didn't want Native Americans to have guns. And now they don't want you to have guns because they're nearing their end game.
Yes. Which is basically they want to burn everything to the ground and start over.
Because
And
that's easy.
Just to throw that in there, where does most gun crime occur?
In the deep blue cities and blue states.
Which are what, impoverished and just happen to have a certain minority in them?
Yep.
Yep.
Now, and listen, I'm just telling you the facts. You can go to the Uniform Crime Report. You can read all this stuff. I mean, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I've seen all the stats, and it's a bunch of horse shit. Booze makes you racist.
This was
Oh, no.
a request from Polska Bob. Is booze racist? Booze makes you racist. Resistance hardest hit. So what is this? They believe there is a direct link between hate crimes and booze. Alcohol makes people more racist and homophobic by acting as an igniter to prejudice.
All right.
Wow.
No, okay. I will concede that alcohol will light the fuse on the asshole bomb that we all have within us.
That's well in
Oh,
vino
yeah.
veritas, right?
So,
Oh man.
I mean, I've made plenty of bad decisions with alcohol, but none of them involved racism. Just saying.
listen, it is what it is. And listen, if you were born after like 1960-ish up until roughly 2005, you're just going to have, everyone's going to have a little racism in them.
Well,
It is. It's just the way it is.
everyone's going to have personal experiences with
Yes.
different races, and there's, according to the people who champion my lived truth,
Yeah.
you can't really take that away from them. I'm just saying.
Like when I was in the Army, I had all kinds of blacks and Puerto Ricans, Asians of every type, and I had no problems. I'm like, all right, it's just the way it is. You know, you're in the uniform. That's the color you are. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Is the internet sexist?
Oh, here we go. Of course it is. It was built for porn.
The internet is sexist by Thought Catalog.
Of course.
Well, the thing is,
She needs to eat a
also,
sandwich.
do you want an example of why we need feminism? The Kansas National Organization for Women smartly pointed it out this week. Go to your Google browser and type in women followed by various verbs and phrases. See what you come up with. Women want money. Women want to be dominated. Women wanting men. Women are all crazy. Women are all liars. Women are all about the money. Women are all the same. I'm having a hard time
Hey,
finding
Blake,
Yep.
the untruth.
is that a fact sheet?
I know, right? If you honestly think that the internet is sexist, you must be talking about the sexism against men.
Correct.
Because if you want to know who the internet is truly sexist against, all you got to do is look at OnlyFans and shit. Within this community that we are a part of, look at the subscriber count for creators like Shoe on Head
Just gonna say that
versus us. Okay? Her content isn't any better than ours. In fact, I think it's far inferior. And yet, because she's cute and her nudes were nice, she has over 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, she's got, she's sporting the upstairs fun bags.
They're quite nice, I will admit.
Well, I mean, most women under the age of 32 have a very, very high potential of having succulent titties.
Yeah.
After that, they probably, those long legs and big tits turns into big legs and long tits.
Yep.
They have to roll those things up to put them in the bra. They're basically a tobacco purse with a nipple on the end, and you just milk the nicotine out at night. So it would work for you. You wouldn't have to vape anymore. You just get an old woman with tobacco bags.
Hey.
So here's the thing that irritates me. I'm actually going to pull this up while we're here.
Yeah.
Give me
you
one more second here.
Getting irritated.
Hang on. Shoe on Head, 1.6 million subscribers. Her latest video was 5 days ago. Female predators and their, I can't say this on Facebook, something simps. 497,000 views 5 days ago. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know a single Red Pill content creator that is getting that in a month.
Because we don't have tits and pussy.
Maybe Fresh and Fit.
Oh, well, Fresh and
Maybe.
Fit goes around the algorithm because they have all those women on their show at night. And
Well,
people
that
wanna
and I
watch it.
think they have the minority card going for them.
That and also I tune in there just to watch what's his name throw bitches off.
Yeah.
Myron.
Myron is Muslim, and
He don't take shit,
his
man.
partner's black.
Yeah,
So they're going to be able to get away with a lot more, just like Darius M. Darius M., literally all he does is unscripted content responding to TikTok videos, and the dude gets thousands upon thousands of views within the first hour. Every single one of his videos are up. There's no production value or effort put into it at all. But because he's black, he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Fresh and Fit,
Well, first of all, I'm
with
gonna
Fresh
say
and
this.
Fit, their appeal is they're like modern Jerry Springer, man. They bring on low value women.
Yeah.
They post them up and blast them.
Yeah.
And that brings in the men, but it also brings in the simps, if you hadn't noticed.
Yes,
The Simstitutes.
Now, I was on their show, and I'm going to tell you right now, they run a top tier professional.
Yes, they do. Myron's
show.
Oh,
a good
yeah,
dude.
absolutely.
I mean, there's $500,000 of equipment in that apartment studio.
Yep.
They always have shit lined up to fucking, do more shows.
Yep.
And I mean, it is, I can't knock it in any way, shape, or form. It is 100% is perfection. They're sitting at a 92%.
They do well.
But I guess
They do
my
very well.
point was, I've got nothing against Fresh and Fit. It's that they're the only ones that are even close to competing with Shoe on Head, who does a video maybe every, 6 months now?
Well,
and she has more views than they do.
Ever since her nudes got released, she's gone a little bit underground.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either.
Oh, I knew about it. Not that I'm just saying somebody brought it to my attention,
So if we were to show one of those,
and I may or may not have a folder of them on the computer.
I'm sure we could
Right on the desktop.
Not on new tech. We get
no.
fucked.
No, we could show them to the supporters.
We could show them to supporters. Yes.
Yeah.
But while we're on this subject, I figured why not look up, can you be sexist against men? Sexism against men? I wish, from HuffPost communities. You can't be sexist towards men in a man's world on Reddit. You can't be sexist against men also on Reddit. Tumblr in action. Cracked actually acknowledges that there's 5 ways society is sexist against men.
Let's see what that one is. I want to see these 5 ways.
I'm assuming the Duluth model may be one of them.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Probably.
Child
Men
support.
are still not allowed to hit women, despite the fact that over 2/3 of domestic violence is initiated by women. And then we go down. What do we got here?
I'm just going to say, listen, if you need to, if
Domestic
some woman
violence
is like
expert.
hitting on, not hitting on you, but getting violent, I would advise the men out there to find a boxing gym, do some amateur boxing, and get good at throwing body shots.
Yeah. Men die on sinking ships. You know, if Titanic was made in 2022, women and children first. I'm trans. Jump on the boat. Men die in combat and at work.
Absolutely correct.
Yep. And number 1, fathers don't get custody of their children.
I knew that one was going to be on there.
It's nice to have that acknowledged.
It's totally true.
Yes.
That's why I'm here. I got fucked over in divorce court. And here's another thing that really pisses me off. It's like I have these debates with these women every now and again. And they're always, and it's like I will be able to talk them into a corner and they can't get out. And they always fall back on this one thing. Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, okay, all right, stop right there. So you think some emotion that I may or may not be feeling at this time is having some kind of effect on reality? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, when women insist that you're being emotional, it's psychological projection. Just like with leftists who insist everything is istaphobicated. Because they actually think all of those things, but they don't want the spotlight on them, so they have to deflect. They have to.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, quite literally, this whole like critical race theory and also their horse shit, it's only really become a problem in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, so let me get this straight. So from the beginning, when we were, writing on clay tablets and baking them to papyrus, and then we went through the Dark Ages, the Romans, the Dark Ages, all of that fucking crazy shit. And somehow that was totally wrong. And now you're going to get it right in the past 10 years because you got a degree in critical race theory. Fuck off!
Yeah. I have a gender studies degree, therefore I know more about the real world than you, even though I'm an academic and I've spent the last 20 years of my life cock-gobbling in some higher education institution,
Yep.
These women counting ceiling tiles on their backs in the study room at the library.
That's another thing that's got me just infuriated.
Not that I ever did that with a chick in college or anything. I'm just saying.
Upstairs in the library in OU, in those study rooms,
I can neither confirm nor deny that such a thing ever happened. Hi, Tina.
Oh, no.
Well, she insists something happened. I don't remember it actually happening.
Well,
And I wasn't drunk at the time.
there was some...
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability. Yeah, exactly.
I got you. Allegedly.
Last but not least, before we decide to take a piss break and go to new tech and then read your super chats and maybe even talk a little bit about those gender theory degrees.
Oh, yeah.
And where those actually come from.
I can't wait.
Everybody always wonders where gender theory came from. I have an answer for you.
It's a bunch of shit.
Oh, it's a bunch of shit. Is water racist?
Oh, here we go.
And I encourage you, by the way, ladies and germs, play this game for yourself. Look up all this crazy shit. Are video games sexist? Well, we know that. Anita Sarkeesian had a whole career grifting off of that bullshit.
I wish they would have invited me to speak right behind when she got up there and talked at the Gamergate thing.
Gamergate, yep.
I would have loved to come up there and like, okay, we all know why you're all here. You're trying to poach people for your company.
Yep.
Get ideas so you can make other games, or maybe, take an idea from somebody else. Because I'm going to tell you right now, a boy playing a video game for 8 to 10 hours a day would rather look at a sexy woman's ass for that amount of time than a fat womalo.
Yep.
Yep. All right, so last two, because we got one request from Jimmy Bones per the chat. But the first one is
Jimmy.
this. Is water racist? Apparently it is. Racism, there's something in the water. Protecting America from racism in the water.
Wow.
Is watermelon racist? No, it's delicious.
It's a goddamn fruit.
But, of course, Yahoo has to chime in. Here's why your fried chicken and watermelon lunch is racist. White people recognize the racist water we swim in.
I mean, it's
Wow.
a fucking inanimate object. It doesn't have a conscious mind.
It's literally the source of life on this planet, combined with oxygen. What the holy hell?
Ask him, see if dirt is racist.
Well, look at this
I
here.
was waiting for the Alex Jones reference.
Yeah. Is self-defense racist / sexist? Toward rethinking self-defense in a racist culture. Self-defense can't save women from a sexist criminal justice system. Actually, it can, because women only serve 1/3 the time for the same crime as a man.
Absolutely
So
correct.
even if you
Yeah.
murder a dude in cold blood, you're getting out of jail 2/3 faster than a dude. Gun
Yes, you
control is not racist, sexist, or ableist. Actually, it's all the above.
Yeah, of course.
Our judicial system is racist and sexist, so vote to give it more power.
Yeah, give it more power and defund the police. I'm sure that's going to work out.
You know what? I'm all for defunding the police as long as we fund sheriffs.
Yeah.
I want a police force that's
there
actually
you go.
accountable and electable by the people. You don't see a lot of this cruelty, abuse of power bullshit in sheriff's office because they're accountable. They have to be elected.
Well, I mean, it does happen. I've seen some videos of some crazy shit that's going on.
It does
in
happen, but
Texas.
you know what happens to those sheriffs afterwards?
Yeah.
Out. Whereas police unions especially, will protect the disgusting, vile sacks of shit who go out of their way to be assholes to people.
No, we're talking about sheriffs, right?
Yes.
There used to be a guy in Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Phoenix, Arizona, or in Arizona.
Okay.
All right. I lived down there for a year, worked as an investment banker, and I did my kickboxing. And that motherfucker had people living out in tents and shit. Man.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. He was a savage.
Oh, I remember that.
I wonder if he's still alive.
Yeah, the work release guys were all out in tents. Yeah.
And they used to make them wear pink. They wear pink. And they're out there, like, working on the road crews and shit. I don't know. I mean, I thought that was a little over the top. But who am I? What are you doing?
Somebody asked for, is farting racist? Some of the stuff that came up. So, racist fart on Reddit. If you farted every time you were a racist, decoded. So, Francesca Ramsey, cancer personified. Fuck that bitch. But then this came up. Fart fetish. Proctophilia.
Proctophilia?
Men explain why farting is a turn on.
That's weird.
Racism in porn industry under scrutiny amid nationwide protests. When was this?
What? Yeah, when did that happen? I don't remember. That was in Rolling Stone?
Yes, a bastion of journalistic
Oh,
integrity, if ever there was one. UVA rape hoax. Oh, I'm sorry.
2020.
Black performers are paid less, hired less, and have to deal with racist yet popular tropes, but now some are pushing for change. Okay, so let me get this straight. You fuck for a living and you're complaining about it.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Okay, we'll have to go with a big fuck off.
I'm just saying.
It's totally true there. That's
If you don't like it, get an OnlyFans. I'm sure you'll totally get just as much money as the next average chick who's 50 pounds overweight and a size 18.
yes.
Because that's the average now.
Size 18?
Size 18 is now the average.
It is. That's what? That's like a 38 waist.
Yeah.
It's like a small hippopotamus.
Dependapotipus. With your stretch marks and your wah.
Oh, here we go. Not to be. They're
We're going to get to this on New Tech. We
yeah.
can't talk about this here. We'll get fucked.
All right, yeah.
And not in a good way.
No.
Not like those black porn stars who want to complain about getting paid to bang for a living. Not that I would know or anything. I'm just saying.
I could never do that.
Nationwide protests for orange-pay stars. You're a sex worker.
Have it?
And I love watching leftoids try to bend over backwards, try to justify the chick who sells her butthole for $3 a month on OnlyFans as real work while being a landlord is not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw that.
Being a landlord isn't real work. You sell access to your butthole for $3 a month on OnlyFans. Your argument is invalid.
Yeah. Yeah, you shoot a bunch of video of you sticking your finger in your blue knot.
or even the worst one, when they have the butt plugs that have like the raccoon or the cat tails off the end, and they walk around like freely on the street with that. I'm a furry, meow.
What? I hope to God I never see no crazy shit like that.
Well, Libs of TikTok posted a chick who looks suspiciously like one of my ex-girlfriends who says that she's a furry and she communicates and meows with her friends, and then she demonstrates the meows to people.
I saw that one.
What the hell?
I was like, what?
This is what happens when you attempt to normalize mental illness on the internet.
Being a part of the costuming community, Pop, that's just par for the course, man. These girls are nuts.
On their chin.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct.
What do you call nuts on a wall?
I don't know.
Walnuts. What do you call nuts on a chest?
Chestnuts.
What do you call nuts on a chin?
Chestnuts, yeah.
I don't know.
A big old dick in your mouth.
Oh, you bastard.
All right.
Said, Paul.
It is 9:16, so I think we're going to take a break so Pop can drain his squirrel bladder, and we're going to adjourn to new tech and start reading your super chats, and we're going to get into some gender theory.
You're going to love this.
So if you're watching on YouTube, look out for those links in the chat and follow us on over, because trust me, you don't want to miss
this is going to be a good one.
Because I have a feeling that Rhino is going to go a bit unhinged if he don't know about this one. It's going to be good times.
Oh, no.
See you in 5.
Bag of dicks.
Bag of dicks.
All right. Bag of dicks. Yeah.
This is a bag of dicks, yes. You just suck that bit, stroke it, pull the hair, snap the bra. Yes, thank you very much. It's fantastic. All right, we'll see you next. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Why are you staring? Stop it. I can't go when you watch.